Hey everyone, thanks for being here, for joining me for this episode of Conscious Conversion. Coming to you straight from my home in Costa Rica. So grateful to be here right now during this wild time on the planet. And I hope that you are also in a place where you can feel some amount of gratitude, whether it's a little or a lot. I hope you are able to move your body and dance some. I hope that you're able to spend time with friends and family, whether that be in person or online or on the phone. I hope you're getting all the support that you need and the food and the goodness. So today I want to talk to you about a metaphor that I talk about a lot in my professional and personal life, and it feels particularly relevant right now. And that metaphor is about social media, Facebook and Instagram particularly, and the world, the universe, manifestation, creation. And so I'll just start by saying that somewhere in Silicon Valley, I imagine this space, this place that houses all of the data of Facebook and Instagram. And it's like one piece of data, right? It's like, I don't know what it looks like. Is it a black box? I don't know. But over 2 billion people are putting their information into this place. I don't know enough about how it works, but just imagine a big black box that contains all of the information of Facebook and Instagram. And so it's a singular piece of data. However, everybody interprets that data differently. Everybody sees that projection differently. So if you think about that in terms of the world and your perceived reality, we've got over 7 billion, probably closer to 8 billion people on the planet. And while there's one data source, right, reality, objective, so-called objective reality, we all have our perception of it. We have as many perceptions of reality as there are people in the world. And that perception of reality is extremely influenced by what you are inputting into the world, right? And so to take that, come back to the metaphor of your newsfeed on social media, your newsfeed, what you see on Instagram and Facebook when you're scrolling is an immediate reflection of what you engage with. So, and what you put in and what you input. So when I say what you put in and what you input, like when you update your status, upload photos, all of that, whenever you do that, you are inputting your own data, how you want to be perceived in the world. And then when you have it reflected back to you, you're seeing all the people that you choose to surround yourself with, and the articles and opinions and posts that you engage with. That type of content is reflected back to you. So to say, if you are really into politics and you're happy facing and angry facing and sad facing a whole bunch of political posts, then you're going to continue to see a whole bunch of that. Like, for example, back in the election cycle several years ago, I remember I was so fired up politically. I was posting constantly, and I was angry facing and sad facing and sharing articles, and that's all I saw in my newsfeed. And then something shifted where I was like, oh my God, I don't want to see this anymore. This isn't the reality I want to live in anymore. So I started to engage with different things. I stopped engaging, whether it was happy faces or hearts or sad faces or whatever. I stopped engaging with a certain kind of content, and my whole news feed shifted. And that is also the case for the world that you live in. So I am so grateful. I live in this beautiful, abundant, and green place, surrounded by amazing community of really, really light workers, wonderful people. My child is thriving. I've got a wonderful cat that I love, a beautiful home. And this is a manifestation that I have created based on what I've chosen to engage with, and the path that I've chosen to go, and what I've chosen to create in my life. So the same is true for social media. And it's an important point for me right now on this planet, because there's so much happening. There's so many perceived negative rabbit holes that one can go down, right? Like, you can go down a rabbit hole of potential conspiracy theories and possible truths that are happening right now with regard to the global pandemic. And believe me, I have been going down those dark rabbit holes. And I have found that the more I engage with those kinds of videos on YouTube and those kinds of posts on social media, the more that I see those things and the more engaged I get. And I've had to sort of come back to my meditation practice, come back to my breath, come back to my eternal now, come back to the beautiful jungle around me and the beautiful crashing of the waves and my beautiful child, and remember that I am safe and everything is beautiful right here in my immediate surroundings. So to continue to do that, I'm not saying that we need to avoid some of these other ways of thinking and belief systems, but we need to be sure to hold our high vibration and our presence and our consciousness through that, because ultimately it's Facebook is, and Instagram is basically a metaphor for the collective conscious, right? That's what I'm ultimately trying to say. The Facebook and Instagram are a reflection and a metaphor for the collective conscious. And we have the ability to input data and engage with things that will create a more abundant and beautiful collective consciousness. And I want to challenge y'all, if you aren't already doing it, with probably many of my listeners are, I'm probably preaching to the choir. I love y'all. Mwah. But I want to challenge those of you that are sort of down a dark rabbit hole or are feeling really scared and lost. I want to challenge you to really, really work hard on yourself, going deep inside, facing your own shadows and transmuting, feeling the feels, but then transmuting that to love and compassion and visualizing the future that we want to have. And that includes, if you are stuck to social media right now, that includes engaging with those things that you want to see in the world, finding the content on YouTube that reflects what you want to see in the world. And in your meditation practice, visualizing the world that you want to see. I want to see community. I want to see people helping each other. I want to have a new economy. I want us to continue what we've already started, creating a brand new economy that is not this sort of patriarchal power over and oppressive systematic oppression type economy, but instead we create a new paradigm where money is just one form of abundance and it's one form of energy exchange. And we are flowing together with one another in support and love and connection. That's the world I'm visualizing. I'm visualizing my happy child, my happy family, my friends. I'm visualizing everybody being able to have what they need in terms of food and resources and education and health. These are the things that we need to focus on now. If you go down the rabbit hole, because we do need to be informed about what's happening in our world, and it ain't pretty, but if you do need to go down the rabbit hole for your own benefit so that you feel like you have a grasp on what's happening in the world, if at all even possible, then be sure that every single day you come back to your center. What does this have to do with Facebook ads? And since I run a Facebook ads agency, what does that have to do with any of that? And many of you are business owners and entrepreneurs, and you have a Facebook business page. So you are putting a huge amount of input, like your degree of input into the collaborative collective consciousness, the collective consciousness creation. We have a big role to play in that, right? And so it's really an important time for us entrepreneurs to be extremely intentional about how we're showing up on social media, what we're engaging with, and what we're putting our effort into. And so if you've got a business that is intending to raise the vibration of the planet, now is a beautiful time to get that message out to as many of these 2 billion people that are captive audiences as possible. So many people are online right now searching for hope, and we have the power to not only give them hope, but give them clear steps, a clear path to a beautiful timeline, to a beautiful reality that encompasses a healthy planet, Mother Earth, who is vibrant and healthy, and a collective humanity and animal kingdom that is thriving. So I think that's all I have to say today. I'm super grateful you're here. Thank you for all you do in the world, and I'll see you next week.